Welcome to Beyond the Game, the podcast where we give you tips, tools, and insights to turn your athletic dreams into reality. I'm your host, Evan Rivera, and today I'm joined with special guest, AMC's very own head baseball coach, Coach Brian. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your athletic journey?
Yeah, Dan Brian, this is my 9th year as the head baseball coach at Anna Maria. I played locally at Becker College. I grew up in Northbridge, Mass, so I've been around Central Mass for my whole life. And I coached at Fitchburg State, coached at Becker, and coached at Roger Williams before I got to Anna Maria, so pretty much sums it up.
And what's your current goal here at Anna Maria, and how long have you been coaching at the college level?
I've been coaching at the college level for the last 16 years. Our goal here has been the same since we got here, is we want to win the conference and compete in the NCAA tournament and see how far we can take it. And the main thing is just becoming one of those perennial teams that's in the mix every spring. And you know what you're going to get when you show up to the park and watch us play. We're going to be tough, we're going to be competitive, we're going to play hard, and we're going to do the little things. And I think that's what I'm most proud of that we've been able to accomplish the last 8 years.
Thank you for taking the time and coming on today. Now we're just going to get into questions for the younger athletes that are trying to pursue their goals. It's how can an athlete get onto a college coach's radar?
Yeah, I think it's about playing in the right programs that get you the exposure and being physical. College coaches want to see guys, that demonstrate physicality. So, strong, tough, competitive kids are the most successful in college baseball. So just consistently doing things that make you stand out when we're at these games and events that demonstrate you can be one of those guys for us.
And then what's the first step a young athlete should take if they want to play in college?
I just think training around like-minded people, you want to have a friend group that loves getting extra work in and doing the extra ground balls, and they're gym rats and they're pushing each other. You don't want to be stuck around lazy guys who are looking to cut corners and that are going to detract you from your goals. So your environment, I think, is a key piece.
I have just another question, basically, to sum up the intro. It's just how can athletes prepare themselves to compete at the college level physically and mentally?
Yeah, that's a great question because I think the mental side is often overlooked, but it's one of the most key components. Guys are homesick. Guys get home. They have issues that we can't even understand as coaches. Everybody's got stuff going on in their personal life. So, again, the biggest the mental hurdle, but like I said, being physical, falling in love with the weight room at a young age, and embracing stuff that makes you good at baseball, fast twitch movements, explosive movements, and make sure you're training appropriately for what you want to accomplish.
Now we're just going to get more onto the coach's standpoint. So one question that a lot of athletes ask and they want to know is how important is highlight film, videos, and basically what makes them stand out in those videos? Yeah,
short clips that show good things. Coaches, we get hundreds of emails throughout the week of guys that want to play or whatever, so nobody wants to watch a 9-minute video of you grinding out a 11 pitch at bat, and you know what I mean? You don't see the swing until the 10th or 11th pitch. So it's short clips. If it's a 3-2 count, clip out the first 5 pitches and just get right to the point hitting the last at bat type thing. And short and quick would be the biggest thing. That's what coaches are looking for. They show you hitting a double in the gap or show you making a nice play defensively or on the mound. But just to me, the shorter the better, and it doesn't need to be much to get a coach's attention. It just has to be the right type of clip.
And then there's a very important question that I thought is important for all athletes to know. It's how important are stats versus attitude?
Yeah, I think stats is probably the least important piece when we're evaluating a prospect, because it's the level of competition varies so much. Did you play in Florida? Did you play in Central Mass? Are you from the central, part of the country, the southern part of the country? Is it cold? Is it warm? What's the level of competition that you're playing? It's so a guy could hit 500 in a certain area, but you want to take the guy that hit 280 in South Florida. You know what I mean? So it's the stats I think would be the least important. It's all, to me, it's all about character, toughness, the way that they approach the game, and like that things that you can't teach or you shouldn't have to teach when they get to college baseball. Like you want to be around good people that do things the right way and that are self-motivated and accountable. So I think, to me, the character and like I'd rather watch a kid go 0 for 3 but hustle and be a good teammate and work his tail off defensively and pick up his pitcher and impact the game in other ways besides just going 3 for 3 with 2 doubles but being a jerk in the dugout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This one's for when they get to college. I know it's hard to probably make that transition from high school to college, but what's your advice for staying eligible and preparing to meet the NCAA requirements?
Just being accountable and like goal oriented. Like you're coming here to get an education and to play competitive baseball. So like with that comes a lot of responsibility. So you got to make sure you're going to class. You got to make sure you're doing your work, engaging with your professors, staying on top of your academics, and then managing your time. I think all freshmen struggle with time management. So the biggest adjustment is you don't have mom and dad saying pick up your room, do your homework, write that paper. And so guys that can handle that is, that accelerates their transition into the college level, the guys that come in with that kind of foundation.
Another question is, what should athletes look for in college, just like more beyond than just the athletic program?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look for something that fits you. I mean, do you want to go to a school and party your face off and you don't really care about playing sports? And there's schools for that. You want to go somewhere you can develop as a person and as a baseball player and be part of something that's bigger than yourself, and that and it's important to you to be part of that college type of program. I think and you're gonna find that. Do you want to be close to home? Do you want to be far away? Do you want to be in warm weather? Do you like the winter? Do you want to go up north where you can ski in the winter? And there's all kinds of different. That's what's great about here, especially in New England. We have a vast array of different. You can have city life. You can have the suburban life. You can have the mountains. You can have winter. You want to go down south. You go down south. It's so, what is the most important to you, and try to prioritize that. And try to put yourself in the environment where you can be the most successful.
I feel like now these days a lot of parents are trying to get involved with the recruiting process, the way their kid stands out, and just the way they perform all around. Do you have any advice for parents who want to support their child's recruiting process?
Yeah, the best thing parents can do is not screw it up for the kids. And I think more often than not, the parents, even though they're well-intentioned and they're trying to help and they believe that they're doing what's best, oftentimes they really just hurt their son or daughter's potential recruitment because, they're getting in the way, or they make a coach feel like that the kid can't handle things on their own, or that the parents are too involved in their process or whatever. So, and how parents behave and conduct themselves at the games. Are they screaming at umpires? Are they causing a scene? Are they hovering around the dugout? Are they trying to coach the kid from the stands? Are they bad-mouthing the coach? And stuff like that. It's like I've seen more kids get closed off from opportunities because of how their parents behaved and interacted with coaches. It should be a proactive process from the student athlete themselves. You should be the one reaching out to the coaches. They don't want to hear from mom and dad. They don't, your mom's job is to love you, not evaluate you as a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. I'm not just saying it because it's my kid. Every parent says that. Like they want kids to be proactive and then take ownership of the process and show that they have enough independence, and wherewithal to make the decisions and advocate for themselves. But the best thing you could do as a parent is stay out of the way and be very cognizant of how you're conducting yourself around the field and around the teams and on social media, and because you're not just recruiting the kid, you're recruiting the parents, and you don't want bad kids in your program, you don't want bad parents in your program.
Right. What's one of your biggest pet peeves when it comes to like the recruiting process from an athlete standpoint, or just something that makes them just fade away from when you're looking at them?
My biggest pet peeve is when a kid comes and sits in the recruiting visit with us and is silent, and like mom's asking all the questions or dad's asking all the questions, like, do you want to play college baseball, or does your dad want you to play college baseball? Like, I need you to want to do it. and I need you to want to be proactive, and I want you to ask the questions. It's you and me that are going to be working together the next 4 years, not mom and dad, And so by the time they get here, they're an adult, they're a man, they're 18 years old, 19, 20, whatever it is. It's time to start growing up, spreading your wings, advocating for yourself, and taking ownership of your process. So that's the biggest thing for me is like showing when you're on the visit that this is important to you and it's what you want to do. It's not what your parents really want you to do.
If a kid's dream is to play in college and they're not a star yet, what should they do starting now?
Fall in love with the weight room. Get as strong as you can. If you look at the best players, they're the most physical, and twitchy. And so if you're not running as fast or you're not as strong, you're not as explosive as you want to be yet, it's okay. Like, guys develop at different rates. And I say this all the time. It's like making a bag of popcorn. So you put the bag in the microwave under the same heat conditions at the same time, but not all the kernels pop at the same time. And it's the same way with player development. Some guys pop young, some guys take a year, some guys come here ready to play, some guys we know that they're a year away, but just because you don't play as a freshman doesn't mean... Guard was a great example last year. Like, he didn't have a great freshman year, and he was all-region as a sophomore. It took him a little bit more time to kind of find his stride, but once he found it, he's as good as any player we've ever had hit here for us. So it's just... And don't take the big picture view. Don't look day to day, and say, like, this guy's ahead of me, that guy's ahead of me. Just worry about yourself and take ownership of your development and just try to get better every day. And if you stack enough good days together, that's when you're going to see, like, that exponential developmental growth.
Is there anything as a coach or in a player's side that you want to add?
Yeah, like if you college baseball, college athletics, it's a really cutthroat, competitive environment. So it's just being like tough and competitive, and having that high competitive motor. That's the guys that are that's how you separate yourself at this level, and that's what's gonna get coaches' attention.
And if there's a couple of things you could say about Anna Maria baseball that makes this program stand out from others, what would you say it is?
I would say that the support we get from the community and the tight-knit family atmosphere that we have here I think it's different than a lot of places. And you have a coaching staff that it's all alumni that have played here. They've been in your shoes. They've played for me, so they know what to expect from me. They know what's important to me. And I just think that type of environment that we've cultivated here is probably the biggest separator.
And anything you want to say to recruits that are possibly thinking of coming to college, bring them into Anna Maria? Do you want to say anything to them that are listening?
Yeah, the stuff that we talked about, like that's everybody that we recruit. We're looking for tough, hard-nosed, blue-collar, competitive type guys that are athletic and, maybe they're a little bit overlooked, maybe they're a little shorter, maybe they run a tick slower than, guys that are ahead of them that might have gotten scholarships or whatever. So we want that guy. We want the guy that has a chip on his shoulder that wants to prove everybody wrong, that passed him over, and we put those guys together and then we let them go. And it's been really successful.
What is one thing that you think this year is going to turn out to be for Anna Maria baseball? How do you think it's going to go?
I don't like to make predictions, but I just think that we have a really good group. We have some good young guys that we've integrated in. We have a really good veteran core, and that I expect to be in the mix right up until the end, and we'll see what happens. Do we make enough plays to make it happen? But it's going to be really tough. We know that Bridgewater's really good. We know that Westfield's really good. We're coming into a new conference, so it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot of challenges. It's going to be a really difficult battle every weekend, but we're looking forward to it. It should be a fun and competitive league, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for listening to Beyond the Game. Another big thank you to Coach Brand. Stay tuned for more episodes and special guests. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and remember, there's always more beyond the game.